This evening, Dr. Hillary has kindly agreed that, he's going to just talk to us from his heart, talk to us about going from one stage of excellence to the other stage of excellence. Talk to us about the journey, just gently talking to us and and sharing his heart and some of his journey. A lot of times we think the journey to success is easy and it's a journey that we can easily grasp and hold on to. But it takes perseverance, it takes management, it takes a good team. So Dr. Hillary this evening, for as our mentor in the class of SteelE, he will be just talking to us and giving us his take and his ideas and some pointers that he think will empower and cause us to be a greater impact globally. And he will also be touching on some of the excitement of what will happen while we're in Dubai, coming together as a family. So Dr. Hillary is going to be responsible for this evening. I am giving way to him. How much ever time he needs, he is free this evening. I want you to take notes. He's a wealth of wisdom, of insight, and I want you to have a great time. There is no formality this evening. It's all about just, as you would say, daddy is talking to the family. We're just going to have a family chill. Amen. So let's have a good time this evening as we just sit at the feet of our mentor for the class of SteelE, His Excellency Dr. Hillary Emoh. So just let me put all things together for you, and I'm going to share the link with all of you. But before I do that, I want to show something to you. Just bear with me as I put it together. Your Excellency Doreen, while I am doing that, do you have any updates pertaining to persons that are booking their flights and everything? Kindly give any update that you have, Doreen, or any announcements. Are there any announcements from you, Your Excellency Doreen?
Um, yeah, good evening to you, Your Excellencies, all members of the class of SteelE, Dr. Michael SteelE, our mentor. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to the class of SteelE. Thank you, all of you, for most of you have not yet acknowledged our communications from the class of SteelE, but I want to thank you all who responded and those who are already making commitments to pay. Some of you have paid, some of you haven't yet paid. Please, the deadline for the registration for the conference is on the 20th of April. So we are left with just a few days to the deadline. Endeavor to make payment maybe tomorrow, Sunday, even Monday. But we don't like receiving money on the last day. So if you can make an effort for you to make the payment. I'm available 24/7 to you. If you want to know more about it, you can call me. If you didn't understand anything, you can call me. But I want to say thank you so much for your responses and for your timely payments, those of you who have committed, who have already made the payments. And for the air tickets and packages, I advise you that you confirm your flight bookings early enough so that the prices do not change. Because should you come back to me like next week and then you want to say pay for the same package, I need to check if the prices are still available, and if they are the same, I would immediately advise you to buy immediately. Otherwise, if we enter May, the prices might change. And so let's comply with the communication from the class of SteelE. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
All right, thank you so very much, Your Excellency Doreen. As a matter of fact, well done, and you're keeping us on our toes, and we look forward to a great event. Organizing great events can be challenging and stressful, but at the end of the day, when you get on the day, everybody is taking a breather and just enjoying the wonderful fellowship. So I'm going to share this image with you. I have an image to share with you. Let me just click share and let me bring that image to you. Can you see my screen? Yes. So let me get out of the way. I'm out of the way. Um, we
Wow.
you are cordially invited to the Class of SteelE anniversary celebration and graduation ceremony. Um, Saturday, the 24th of April, 2021, and it's from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. It's 4 hours, and that's London time. Please make sure you put in London time, and you see who we have there. So, our structure is getting put in place. So please share this poster far and wide, and make sure that you are with us. Dr. Hillary will be one of the main speakers for the Class of SteelE anniversary. And we're so proud to have reached this milestone. And I believe that great things are in store for us as we continue to pursue excellence, we continue to pursue integrity, we continue to pursue making some of the right choices in business, in associations, and in partnerships. So again, we will be sharing this in this flyer for you, and please share it with your friends and colleagues so we can have a wonderful graduation celebration. We will also, in the next coming days, send out the schedule for the graduation. So you will have the schedule coming up in the next couple of days as well. So thank you for attending to that. Let me All right. I see that Dr. Hillary is having some internet challenges and he has dropped off. We're just gonna let Dr. Hillary pop back on. Just 1 second. Let me just make sure he's okay. All right, that's the link for this evening's class. I just shared the link with you for this evening's class. While Dr. Hillary uh, gets back his connection, I want to I want to say something to us. We've come a long way in the Class of SteelE. We've come a long way. I really want you to think about that. This year that they said it was COVID and so many challenges around the world, I want you to look at yourself and think about it. You've come a long way. All of us. All of us have come a mighty long way in 2021. I mean, in 2020. We've come a long way. We've been through some hurdles and some challenges, but the most amazing thing is that we are here and we are better. Are you with me? We are here today and we are better. Not only are we here and we are better, but we're here, we are better, and we are also going further. And I want you to always remember God, we plan as individuals, we put plans in place. But how many of you know it is God that brings the increase? We plan, but God brings the increase. We plan, but God chooses the time for the plan to be manifested. Are you with me? We plan, but it is God who chooses the time to manifest what we plan. Sometimes we want it to happen now. Sometimes we want it to happen in our way. But how many of you know that God ultimately knows when everything is going to gel? Come on, give me a wave if you get what I'm saying. Everything gels at the right time. And I want you to always remember something. I celebrate technology for a great reason. I want to welcome you back, Dr. Hillary. I'm going to hand over to you very shortly. I celebrate technology for one reason. And I want to tell you this about technology that we need to celebrate. Technology teaches me God. I'll say it this way. Technology teaches me God. What do I mean by that briefly? Technology cuts off when it feels like. How many of you get what I'm saying? Technology does what it feels like sometimes when it feels like. How many of you know that God is like that? Our plans, we put our plans in place. We have our agendas and our schedules in place. But somehow along the process of time, God shows up and he says, not yet. Or he might say, this needs to happen quicker, or he might say, this is not happening good enough. But how many of you know that we do not control those dynamics? God does. And I'm going to hand over now to Dr. Hillary so that he can have his way this evening in the class as we go forward. But always remember, it's not your way, it's God's way ultimately. He's sending me message. He's sending me message. My internet is messing up. He's in and out, in and out. Don't worry. Come on, somebody. Don't worry. He'll get with us. He'll get with us. Don't worry. So appreciate that. Appreciate the challenge. Don't let it frustrate you. Do not let process frustrate you. Don't. Wave at me if you get what I'm saying. Don't let process frustrate you. A lot of you had planned by the time you are 35 or 40 years old, you're going to be a millionaire. How many of you have said that? By the time I'm 40, I'm going to be a millionaire. Wave at me if you said that. Wave at me. Come on, somebody. Wave at me. If you said by the time I'm 50, I'll be a millionaire. By the time I'm this age, I will have this, I will have that. We all do those things. By the time I'm 35, I'm going to be married. I'm going to have 3 kids, and I'm going to be preparing for this and preparing for that. How many of you know that life slaps you in the face, slaps you around the head, punches you in the stomach, steps on you, runs over you? Come on, somebody. That's what life does to us. But how many of you know those that succeed are the ones who did not give up? Are the ones who did not throw in the towel? Come on, somebody. I want you to talk to me this evening, and I want you to talk to yourself. Why? Because you are going to make it. You are going to be successful. Why? Because you're not going to throw in the towel when the challenges and the difficulties come. I want you to be focused. There are many times there were things that I wanted to do, and time would not permit me to do those things. And as a result of time not permitting me to do those things, I remain what? Confident. That, you know what? I might not do it now. Hey, somebody. I might not get it done now, but I promise you, I'm going to get it done. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. I promise you, I'm going to get it done. It might not happen the way I want it to happen, but it's going to happen. You've got to always stay focused. You've got to always stay what? Committed. You've got to always stay dedicated. You've got to always stay true to yourself and true to your purpose. And one thing you always got to stay confident in. And I want to tell you this. Listen to me, your mentor. Listen to this. Listen. Life favors you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Life favors you. I want you to say that. Say, life favors me. Say it. Life favors me. Say it. Life favors me. What do I mean by that? Life favors me is simply saying, in the garden of life, listen to me. In the garden of life, there will be thorns that might grow up where you didn't plant them, and you can't stop them from sticking you. Come on, somebody. Are you hearing what I'm saying? In the garden of life, there might be thorn bushes that you did not plant them, but they stick you. Why? Because they're in the same garden. You're sharing the same garden. Disappointments don't come to Christians and not to non-Christians or to one type of man and not another type of man. What? Disappointments come to what? Everybody. Heartbreak doesn't come to good people and not bad people. It comes to what? Good people and bad people. Good opportunities don't only come to good people, they come to what? Good people and bad people. What is it that defines individuals who always seem to come out on top? What is it? Is it that they did not have disappointments? Is it that they did not have shame? Is it that they did not have pain? No. It is their attitude. It is their attitude towards the difficulties they go through. One of the reasons why I have partnered, or why we have partnered with Leaders Without Borders, is because I like to partner with organizations and individuals who fight harder than anybody else to maintain a character. Are you hearing me? You have to fight to maintain a character. Maintaining a character is going to cost you friends, people that you wanted to work with. It's going to cost you. But you have to be resolute, fixed and focused. You're going to make a lot of folks angry in 2021. Oh, get ready to make some folks angry. Come on, somebody. Hey, somebody. Hey, you better get what I'm saying to you. Get ready to make some folks angry in 2021. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? All without you doing anything to make them angry. They will just be upset and angry. Why? Why? Because the thorn bush sees everybody coming to the mango tree. Come on. Come on, somebody. You got to celebrate this message. The thorn bush is inside of the garden, and he sees everybody is going to the mango tree and smiling. Everybody's going to the mango tree, and when they stood by the mango tree picking mangoes and eating mangoes, everybody's smiling. But every time somebody gets close to him, to Mr. Thorn, as soon as they get close to Mr. Thorn, they're crying. Ooh! They're crying. Ooh! And everybody's talking negatively of Mr. Thorn. I hate this bush. This bush is always, I hate it. Come on, somebody. So Mr. Thorn will always be jealous when he looks over at mango tree and seeing people enjoying mangoes. But I want to tell you something. I want to explain this to you. Everybody have their place in the garden. Say everybody have their place. Because guess what? If you live in a desert, Mr. Thorn is going to be your best friend. Because you plant Mr. Thorn around your hedgerow. Come on, somebody. You plant Mr. Thorn around what? Your hedgerow. I see Olukoro is smiling. And Mr. Thorn stops those enemies from getting close to you. Somebody got to understand what I'm saying. Even Mr. Thorn have his place in the garden. Reverend Bright, come on. Reverend Bright, you know why I'm going with this. Come on, Golden Eagle. Talk to me, Golden Eagle. Celebrate with me this evening, Golden Eagle. Come on, unmute yourself and celebrate Mr. Thorn's purpose with me this evening.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I think I have missed the class for last Monday, and I came. I met you really speaking, and I'm blessed. And this night, it's a great night. You just have to. In Nigeria here, your message is well understood. You know, in Nigeria here, we're in touch with nature. We're in touch with the mango tree. So I was trying to think. Well, when Your Excellency, when you came to Nigeria, was it mango season? I said no. I said, how did you get it so accurately and so correctly? I mean, it's a season. That is a season in Nigeria that you are in touch with mango all over, and then you eat it as you want to eat it, fresh from the tree. And it's so exciting when you find one. You're exciting, and particularly when it's an improved species. In fact, I've just had one. I think just yesterday. So it's our season. We eat fresh. So powerful, so wonderful. The message was timely. The message is timely, and I can't say more than this. We are in for a ride. We are in for the process. We cannot say no to the process, but we are resilient to the process. But we are stubborn to the vision. We will hold on to the vision stubbornly, but we are flexible to the process. We are ready to bend to any direction that God wants us to go. The process is real. The vision is also real, but we just have to adjust ourselves. Where we have to be dynamic to the process. I know that the process is going to take us to the finishing point. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you spoke to the point of the mango. I see your beautiful First Lady Patience is trying to deliver you. First Lady Patience, come on, we celebrate you. We see you there delivering him. God bless you, First Lady Patience. We love you dearly. You know, but that's it. Everything has its season, but in the garden equally, every bush have its place. Everything in the garden have its place. Olukoya, you're an architect, and you know that individuals plant thorns in the hedgerow to keep out unwanted guests. We have mangoes to you see, you plant thorns to protect those who are going to come to steal the mangoes. Come on, Olukoya, talk to me, Olukoya. I want to hear somebody talk about the thorns. That's what I want to hear. Talk to me, Olukoya. You're the architect.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and all the excellencies in the house. And I appreciate this opportunity. One of the things that is very peculiar about the thorn, most times, is that the person that owns the yard knows where the thorns are, but an intruder may not know everything about it. To a large extent, the owner will be more careful when it comes around the thorn. But the person that is intruding, because he may not be able to know where the thorns are positioned, he can just barge in and then he will get pricked by the thorn, and then the owner within the premises is protected. So the thorn is also very good. And if we are not careful and we forget we let our guards down and we are careless, even within our own protected area, we can also get pricked by the thorn. So we have to be very careful and not lose our guard. Thank you, Your Excellency.
I like what you said. I like what you said. You said an important point. And the important point is we need to be careful and do what? Know where the thorns are. I want to talk about that. I really want to speak to that, Your Excellency Olukoya, because you have to know that there are some thorns that are going to be for your protection. There are some people around you that are mean. They are hard. They prick you when you get close. But the pricks are for your own reminder. Come on, somebody. I'm talking to you. The pricks are for your reminder. You see, as a mentor, I am either a thorn or manure. As your mentor, I am either going to be thorn or I'm going to be manure. You see, there are times that you might come to me and I might stick you. That's what a mentor is going to do. A mentor is going to stick you sometimes and it's going to hurt. Oh, I don't want to go around him. I don't like him. But I have learned something. The greatest parent is the parent that says to a child, I'm not here to be liked by you. I am here to make sure you make it successfully in the world that I'm putting you in. I don't care if you like me when I correct you or not. Are you hearing me, somebody? You see, so you've got to appreciate when the Lord said, let the thorn and the thistle do what? Grow together. You've got to let them grow together. Why? Because there's sometimes that when the harvester is coming along, if the thorns aren't there, you might not have any fruit whatsoever because everybody will come and steal the fruit. And how do you steal fruit? Let me teach you how you steal fruit. So here's Dr. SteelE, a nice attitude, a nice character. I'm such a man of God. Hallelujah. It's such a lovely day today to thank Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. Hey, somebody. And you're just being a lovely person. And all of a sudden, come on, somebody. You see, don't say that Bishop SteelE is a prophet of doom. You see, I'm your mentor. And I have to tell you the truth. All of a sudden, you're just seated on your chair, just looking at the horizon. And out of nowhere, without your permission, boom, something just came for no reason. You didn't ask it to come. It just came without your permission. And it knocks you for 6. Come on, somebody. I'm talking to you this evening. 2021. It knocks you for 6. And you hold your head. And then you ask yourself the question. You're going to decide one or the other. You're going to show us what type of tree you really are now. This is where you show what type of tree you are. When you get stuck by a thorn, come on, somebody. Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you in a class of SteelE. This is when you find out what type of person are you. Are you a person who maintains composure? Or are you a person who loses composure? What type of person are you? Are you a person who knows how to bounce back? And what do I mean by bounce back? Bounce back is this. Something comes and knocks you out of place. But then guess what you got to do? What you got to do? Come on, somebody. You've been knocked out of place. You can't be seen any longer. Nobody sees you in your post. Nobody knows where you've gone. You're going under sometimes. It's like God has forsaken you. It's like you're not able to get back up. But what happens? What happens? You come back in the picture. You dust yourself off and you maintain composure. You keep speaking, and persons never know that you got knocked for 6. Persons never understood that you could have been dead for all they know, but you just came back into position. Why? Because you know how to bounce back. Come on, somebody. In 2021, you got to know how to bounce back. I don't care what you go through. I don't care how you feel the pricks, but you got to understand, in order to survive, you have to understand how to what? Bounce back. Oh my God, and when you bounce back, you look even better than you looked before. Why? Because bouncing back is all about showing the character you've got. Are you with me? You don't sit and depend on anyone to make your vision come true. You don't sit and depend on anyone to make your program work. You don't sit and wait on anyone to cause you to be a multimillionaire. You don't sit and, oh, I'm just waiting on God. I want to tell you something. Listen to me. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting. What you waiting on God for? Has he not said even in his very word? I have done what? Given you all things pertaining to what? Life and godliness. Everything that you need, he's already given to you. Say I've got it. Wave at me and say I've got it. Say I've got it. Wave at me and say I've got it. You know why I'm telling you wave? Because I'm smacking you in the face and saying, stop telling people, oh, I don't have it. I can't get it. I'm not able. Stop it. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. It's yours. And nobody can take it from you. In your garden, there are going to be thorns. Come on, somebody. But God is the one that put those thorns there. What did he say when Saul was on the road to Damascus? Come on, somebody. When Saul was on the road to Damascus, what happened? Talk to me, somebody. What happened? He was confronted. And what was the voice saying? It is hard to do what? Kick against the pricks. Come on, somebody. You see, you're so Christian and you're so spiritual, but you don't understand. The pricks are there for your protection. The pricks are there for your hedging. The pricks are there for when you don't get it. So you get what? Pricked. Because you got beautiful fruit inside of you. A lot of you got to understand this. You got some precious fruit inside of you. And anytime you step out of boundaries, anytime you step out of the boundaries, you got to get pricked. Why? Because the fruit have to be what? Protected. Come on, somebody. Say leaders without borders. Leaders without borders. Leaders without borders. God is extending your territory. He's extending your reign. Why? Because when you have the right character, when you have the right attitude, when you've got the right integrity, there are no borders. You're not going to come up against pricks in the right environment. When you are in your element, when you are in the right environment, you don't come up against pricks. Nobody plants thorns inside of their living room. Come on, somebody. You don't plant thorns in your living room. You don't plant thorns right next to when you get out of your house and it's in your welcoming area for your guests. Come on, somebody. You don't plant thorns in those places. Where do you put thorns? Far away from you. And if God is extending your borders, hey, if God is extending your borders, or if God is removing your borders, you're now becoming what? A leader without borders. You got to understand, you're becoming what? A leader without borders. What does it mean? No pricks. Nothing can prick me. Why? Nothing has the ability to prick me. Because why? I'm adopting the right attitude. I'm adopting the right character. And even if you prick me, guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna recognize you, and I'm gonna cut you down and remove you and push you a little further away from me. Why? Because my borders must be removed. My borders must be removed. A lot of you are seated with so many borders. You have people that as soon as they talk to you, they hurt you. They prick you so easily. And you show up who you are. You're not a man of God. You don't have faith. Come on, somebody. You got to understand, faith is not talking. It's walking. It's doing. It's manifesting. It's not, oh, I believe God. I'm going to believe God. I'm going to just, I don't know. It's doing what? Putting in the work. Put in the work. Come on, somebody. You've got to put in the work. The hardest people to exercise faith are pastors. I'm talking to you now. Hardest people. Because you become so confident that it is given to you. It is put in your hands. It's right there. You just got to call the right person and they'll show up and deliver. Are you hearing me? But what am I asking for? I'm asking for leaders without borders. I'm asking for men and women of God that know how to make things happen. You make it happen. God Almighty, I just say you make it happen. You make it happen. You do whatever it takes to make it happen. No matter how many pricks you get. When you get pricks, what do pricks say? Pricks say you need to extend your knowledge and your understanding so you don't do what? Get pricked again. What did Olukoya say? Olukoya says sometimes you've got to remember where you have your face. You've got to remember where your face is, because if you do not remember where you plant your thorns, you will get stuck. And when you get stuck, it will hurt you very badly. Are you with me? Your Excellency, Dr. Hillary, are you there?
Your Excellency, I had to run back to my office because I noticed that the internet in my house was very, very horrible. So I had to quickly drive back to the office so I can come online.
So, Your Excellency, you appreciate my message. Come on, somebody, celebrate him. Celebrate him. Why? He had to be here. And he said, you know what? Whatever it takes to get here. He's a leader without borders. That's what we're talking about. There's no border. Your Excellency, this message is recorded and you can listen to it. There's no borders. You've got to do whatever it takes to show up. You've got to do it. You've got to press in there. And you've got to make sure that on your team is somebody that is going to know you're fighting for them and you're going to show up. Your Excellency, Dr. Hillary, I have kept the fort for you. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's celebrate His Excellency, Dr. Hillary. I'm signing off. Go, Your Excellency. Tag, you're it. God bless you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Once again, I'm sorry for dragging the meeting so long. I really wanted to be on the meeting. I actually left a meeting, rushed back to my house, and then got to my house. The internet was crappy, so I left my home and then drove back to my office so I could be on this meeting today. Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. SteelE, for inviting me to the class. It's always a pleasure to be among distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Very well, there's nothing so, there's not so much to be said. I will really want to have an interactive session, if that's okay. My mind is just, focused on next month, on the event. So we've been having a series of meetings with investors, with people who are interested in coming for the program. So my mind is just, like a railway, like a train, just moving in one direction, so to say. So I want us to just have an interactive session. If we have questions that you want to ask me in terms of the program, the forthcoming event, I would love to answer those questions. If you have personal questions you want to ask me also, I would also love to answer those questions. Vaccine, because so many people who want to come for the event asking a lot of questions about vaccines and all that. If you have any questions about the event, so to say, I really want to answer that question. Your Excellency, Dr. SteelE, I don't want to cut you short. Unless there's a question from that to answer any question, please allow me to say that you can continue with your class, please. I want to listen to you talk. When you're done, afterwards, I can now respond, please. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I want to listen to you talk.
Thank you so much. Are there any immediate questions, or do you guys want me to carry on? If you want me to carry on, any immediate questions for Dr. Hillary, or should we just carry on and let him come after? Dr. Hillary, do you promise then that after I share, you will, as they say, drive the, no, not the nail in the coffin. What I think we have to find a new one. You will put the shine on the diamond. You will put the shine on the diamond when I'm finished.
Absolutely, I will. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right. So you see, we're talking about the thorns in the garden and in the hedge. And Dr. Hillary, and as a matter of fact, I want to use his life story to add value to this evening's class. I want to use his life story because it happened right in front of us. Here we see the head of a global organization that is mentoring individuals and leaders not to quit, not to give up, to extend ourselves to make things happen. And we see him being a part of an opportunity to share in the class and the difficulties that he was faced with. And what did he do? What did he do? He inconvenienced himself. He put himself in a position where he could fulfill what he said he will do. That's one of the reasons why I celebrate such people. Why? Because some people know how to understand that your word is your bond, and others are depending on you. Are you with me? Olukoya, I am depending on you in 2021. Your Excellency Doreen, I am depending on you. I don't want that if I fall asleep, the ball is dropped. You have to understand. Your Excellency Donald Ewers, I depend on you. I'm not a leader on my own. We're all leaders that need each other. We're all leaders that at the end of the day, my greatest endeavor and my greatest opportunity is based on collaboration, is based on strategic partners. And if you don't have any partners or any associates, how are you going to be successful? But we go back to that verse. I want to go back to it before Dr. Hillary showed up. It is hard to kick against the pricks. The pricks are there to help you. Saul thought he was doing the right thing. I'm going to go into a Christian message to some degree because it's a teaching that I know. Saul thought he was doing the right thing. And he carried on doing it, thinking he's helping God. He's doing God a favor. But how many of you know sometimes you might be doing something, but your boss is not impressed? Come on, wave at me if you get what I'm saying. Your boss is not impressed. And your boss allows you, because you see, your boss recognizes you are not deliberately offending him. You are not deliberately trying to harm him. Sometimes your life knows you're trying your best. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Look at yourself and said, I have been trying my best. Come on, wave at me if you genuinely believe you have been trying your best with what you have. You have been trying genuinely. Every single one of you in the class of SteelE, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, I know without a shadow of a doubt, you have been trying your best. You've been trying your hardest. Do you think that I got married to my first wife because I wanted to go through a divorce and I wanted to be a failure in marriage? Come on, somebody. Nobody starts a journey to end up messed up, jacked up, parked up. Nobody. Nobody starts a journey. Did you think that I registered my first company and I didn't get successful because I wanted to have a failing business? Come on, somebody. Nobody sets up a business to fail. Did you think I joined the church and I sat in that congregation because I wanted to be a failure and I wanted to experience hardship and difficulties to leave and say, wow, I don't want to serve God anymore? Come on. Nobody. Did you get that girlfriend or that boyfriend or that best friend when you were younger because you thought you were going to fail? Look at me. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Nobody. Did you start working in your job on that contract with so much excitement and so much zeal because you thought that you were going to quit? Come on, somebody, I'm talking to us. But how many of you know that there are pricks in the garden? Oh, there are pricks in the garden. And if you don't know how to avoid the pricks and stay within the boundaries, you'll have problems. You'll have challenges. But I want to talk to you this evening. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. My God, I want to talk to you this evening. The reason why I decided that I'm going to seek out Leaders Without Borders and be a part of Leaders Without Borders is why? Because I am sick of boundaries. Hey? I am sick and tired of boundaries and borders. I want to bust out of boundaries. I want to bust out of borders. And if I got a people that are saying in 2021 and beyond, you want to bust out of boundaries and borders, then you've got to understand parameters. Leaders without borders. Some of you are in organizational bondage. Borders. Some of you are in relationship relationship quarters, borders. But you've got to understand the limits and the responsibilities within those boundaries that are set. Boundaries and borders are two different things. Are you hearing what I said? I'm going to say it again. Boundaries and borders are two different things. Boundaries are parameters within which you can work. I'm going to say that again. Boundaries are parameters within which you are expected to operate or function. Those are called what? Boundaries. Borders are the edges, the borders. So you say, but boundaries and borders sound like the same thing. Boundaries and borders sound like the same thing, but they're not. Borders hedge you in. Borders hedge you in. They hedge you in. Have you noticed that Dr. Hillary has this thing says cross-border? Cross-border. What does cross-border mean? Come across the borders and be before what? Boundaries. Come across the borders and be before what? Boundaries. I want you to put yourself in a place in 2021 that there are no boundaries. In 2021, you're going to be an amazing individual. Leaders without borders. No more borders. You see, if you look, you're going to see a square that I fit into a border because it stops me from getting across to you. Are you with me? All these are borders. But we want to remove that. I'm Dr. Michael SteelE, and I'm going to hand over to Dr. Hillary to add his comments to what I've shared. And for those of you who are going to go to Dubai, I want to tell you something. How many of you celebrate me as a good mentor? How many of you celebrate me as a good mentor? But I want to tell you the truth. I want to tell you the truth. I'm a great mentor because I don't have borders. Nobody hedges me in. Nobody. I don't get hedged in. I choose the parameters within which I operate. Are you with me? Golden Eagle, I could not contain you, sir. You are a man so huge with such a great vision. I have no intention on hedging you in. I just want you to be a part of what I'm doing. Vanessa, I can't hedge you in. You got too much going on. You bigger than life itself. Olukoya, you bigger than life. I can't hedge you in. How many of you get what I'm saying? Dr. Hillary can't hedge me in. I can't hedge in Dr. Hillary. Come on, somebody. We learn how to work within confines of relationships and agreements. Paul, I can't hedge you in. Doreen, I can't, none of you. All of you have to operate outside of your own borders. I became a great mentor because I sat and I listened, I learned. I made it my business to pay for events, pay for conferences, travel extensively. People say, oh, you're wasting your money. You're not wasting your money. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your net worth. You're investing in your net growth. You're investing in you. Nobody is going to come and just make you want to receive this. You've got to do it yourself. And as you do it, you get greater. And you will not be disappointed. Some of you in the class of SteelE have met some interesting persons as a result of what? Networking, partnering, associating, connecting. And guess what's going to happen? When you go to Dubai, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Those of you who are going to be with us in Dubai are in for the trip of your life. As a matter of fact, I will dare to tell you, you will not regret this opportunity. You will not. Dr. Hillary, I think that concludes my thoughts, my my submission, and you could lend your voice to the discussion, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. SteelE. I never get tired of listening to you. You're such an inspiration. And I hope that the class of SteelE and every member of the class of SteelE appreciate your effort and what you're trying to do here. I want to thank you again for always inviting me here to the class of SteelE. And I mean, you've said it all, cross-border talks. For you to take your business to another level, you have to move from the point that you are to another point. So what does that mean? It means that you're taking a step further. If you continue to live in the boundaries that you have created for yourself, it means that you don't want to move from a particular spot that you are to another spot. So for you to move your business from the point that you are now to a further point is for you to cross some boundaries. You have to step over that boundary. That's why we have cross-border business talks. You have to cross the border for you to improve your business and to grow your business. You know, most business thrive with partnership, collaboration, and most of the collaborations are done internationally. If you have international partners, if you have your business in different countries, trust me, you'll make more money than having your business stuck in one part of the world. You'll be surprised that people in other parts of the world are actually looking for what you do. But because you've not put yourself out there, they will never know. Because you've not put your business out there, they will never know that that kind of business exists. There's so many opportunities out there. There's so many people looking for collaborations, looking for fantastic ideas. You just might just have that fantastic idea, but because you have not put yourself out there, you know, you will never be never be known. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to give yourself that opportunity to connect with the right people that will help build your business. And I'm always very excited when I hear Dr. SteelE talk about the Leaders Without Borders, the annual business summit in Dubai, with so much passion. I mean, it's as if he sees through my heart, and he's just, you know, speaking right from the bottom of my heart. The truth is this is an overwhelming opportunity. It's an opportunity like no other. If you are vast in the media, if you are very good with the media, with news, you know that a lot of great people are talking about the event. People that I know that you will love to meet. People that I know also, you might also be looking out to, you might never ever meet again, you know, in your lifetime. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and Dr. SteelE is doing absolutely well, just bringing this opportunity up. And I want to thank you, Dr. SteelE, from the bottom of my heart. The way and manner you talk about the event warms my heart. You know, it makes me feel very proud to be your friend. It makes me, you know, just, I don't know how to say this, but makes me want to just hug you. So thank you very much. You've said it all. This is an opportunity for us all. I'm very much available. I wish I could share my life story with you. I'm very, very sure that if you listen to my life story from where I started from and where I am today, you will want to move your business from where it is and you want to take it somewhere else for sure. Trust me. So I thank you all for listening to me. It's been very short.
Dr. Hillary, Dr. Hillary, don't run. I have an interview for you. Do you think you're gonna come to the class of SteelE and just run off like that? I have an interview for you, Dr. Hillary. So please expect me to interview you. All right?
Oh, okay. I'm here for you. I came back to the office. I drove back to the office just because I wanted to be in the class today. You know, so I'm here. My eyes are, as you can see, my laptop is here. So even after the meeting, I'm going back to work. So there's no break. So if you, so I'm here for you. I'm here for you, sir.
So I want to, Dr. Hillary, I want to ask you some questions because right now you are live on YouTube, and this is going to go viral on Facebook. I'm keeping it, I'm going to share it, because one of the things that I will tell you that I celebrate in you is you and I have the same heart to some degree and the same passion. But I want to ask you this question. Why without borders? I specifically want to ask that question. Why without borders? Where did that come from, and why did it come? Because I know that didn't come easily. So tell us, why without borders?
Well, you've said it didn't come easily. The whole concept started about 11 years ago. Been privileged to organizations. I have led to South Africa. I see that, for instance, wherever you are, whether you're in the United Kingdom, communities, when you live where you are to another place, are always endless. Even when it seems that, as if what you are currently doing does not make sense, you will be surprised that it makes sense to somebody outside where you are. If you are in a particular environment and what you do seems not to be growing, you will be surprised that when you take that thing that you do, when you take it out to another environment, you will meet people that have been looking for that particular thing that you do. You know, I have met several people who have testimonies with doing as little things that you think that are just worthless, but immediately they take it out of the country, out of where they are to another country. Even if it's a third world nation, you find out that the business begins to boom in that third world nation. Okay, so the idea it's been there for a long time. You know, how do we get people to understand that they really need to move a step further, you know, for their business to grow? So I don't know if this has answered your question, Dr. Steele.
It has. The other question that comes to my mind for you, tell me about your failures. You see, everybody talks about their victories, and nobody likes to talk about their failures. And here's the interesting thing, Dr. Hillary. I am ashamed for a lot of things that I've passed through, but I want to share this with you. The minute I stopped being ashamed of those things and using those things in my teaching for individuals who are in a place where I can teach them how to avoid those things. The minute I started focusing on those points of disappointments or shame or pain, I recognize it has been one of the most powerful tools given to me. So I want to ask you, what are some of your failures that you want to share with others and say to others, this is one of my failure or one of the greatest disappointments, but this is what I've learned from it, and I'm glad I've had that experience. Share a couple of those with us.
In life, any failure. The reason what you call a failure, what you call failure is actually a test. You know, there's a saying, you said, champions keep for failure. It's a test of time. For me, if I'm doing something and eventually it does not work out, I learn from it. I don't see it as a failure. Because immediately, once you begin to consider it a failure, it gives you a negative vibe, a negative feeling. It drowns your spirit. So instead of calling it a failure, I see it as a test. How do I improve on this test? How do I improve on this thing that I've done that did not work out? Where did I go wrong? So I don't call it a failure. I call it a test of time. So when I come back to repeating that same thing, because I will always repeat that same thing. When I come back to repeating that, and if again, so in life, just disappointment. But you know, the funniest thing is, I always laugh about it, because with disappointment comes great achievement. You have to be disappointed for you to know that you need to take another step. If you're not disappointed when you take a particular step, you cannot take another step. So, but when you are disappointed and you allow the disappointment to weigh you down, it means you have failed. But when you are disappointed and you take correction and take another steps, it means that disappointment is actually a test and not a disappointment. It is actually a test of time and not a failure. So I don't call it a failure, you know. So, but I mean, in your language, there's always, there've been numerous tests for me, numerous tests, you know, but God has always been by our side. We're children of the Most High, and I always go to my Father in heaven whenever I have a test for direction.
Dr. Hillary, you have answered my question then. So since you've answered my question so eloquently on explaining the difference between a test and a failure, thank you so very much for that. So Dr. Hillary, what is one of your biggest tests that really tested you?
Okay, one of my biggest tests. Okay.
You know I'm going to get to the heart of the matter. You've come to know me.
Okay. Let me see. That's because I've never considered any failure, because I know where you're going to, but
We've
nevertheless,
passed failures, so there are no failures. So I want to know tests. We've passed failures.
yeah.
There are no failures. Come on, somebody.
No,
Class of Steel, give me a wave. Say there are no. As a matter of fact, I told them in the class of Steel, there's no failure. There's no such thing as failure. They know I teach that.
there's no such thing as failure. There's only test. There's only test. No such thing as failure.
So tell me a test that you would not like to have again.
I've had a whole lot. I've had a whole lot of tests. I'll just give you one. It's a little bit personal, but I'll share it. I had an opportunity to seal a deal, and it was a lot of money, and somebody was sitting on the contract, and he asked me. The man asked me. He was director of account. He was in charge of the account, and he made a remark to me and said, why should they release such funds to me? I'm a young man. That was about 7 years ago. That money was too much. He looked at me and said, you are too young for this kind of money. Are you sure you'll be able to handle such funds? You know, and yes, I will never forget that. You know, and because of that, I mean, I wasn't given. He sat on the job, and I didn't get the contract because he felt I was too young for the money, and he thought maybe I would just use it to go and buy big cars and travel around the world. You know, but that didn't stop me. In fact, I got something bigger afterwards because I didn't stop. You know, that's why I call it a test. Afterwards, I went ahead. I went to someone who was higher than him. I didn't get the particular job, but I went to somebody who was higher than him, and I got something bigger. You know, so that's one of the tests that I've had. I've had numerous tests, but that's just a personal one that's you know. I've gone for this. I've done my presentation. I've gotten approval because you are director of accounts funds for the job. Yeah.
I'm going, since you shared one of your personal ones with me, and I'll tell you the truth about that personal one you shared is that those are the ones that hurt us the most
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
they're the ones we invest the most in. Minister Ewers, Donald Ewers is
Mhm.
here with us, and he's my chief of protocol because he knows me better than a lot of individuals. As a matter of fact, more intimately than a lot of individuals. Minister Ewers has started to get to know me better, but in a business side as well. And I will share one of my most painful tests that I've had. And I'll talk about it. It was a transaction I was doing just like yourself, and it was too big to talk about because persons will never believe you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get involved with things that persons would call you a liar or a fraud. And
Mhm.
I was involved with a $2.9 billion oil deal. I was involved in it. As a matter of fact, I was the person that pioneered it. I was the person that coordinated it. I was the person that initiated it, and I was the person that made that you would say brought it all the way to happening. And I already had my house in my mind. I already went and visit the property. I already come up, Minister Yours and I have been talking, and come on, Mr. Yours, and and I was already done. It was a done deal. It was done. As far as I was concerned, it was done. And the person looked and did everything to say, no, we can't give this to a small boy like you.
Really?
And and they and they just I got totally cut out. And here's the thing. And here's the thing. After you spent months working and investing and preparing and papering and talking and bonding and binding together, and those things happen, they disillusion you. They take away your faith in God. They take away your faith in humanity. They take away your faith in mankind. But I want to tell you the truth, Dr. Hillary. They also humble you. They also humble you because sometimes when we look at what we want to do after we've gotten to that stage, we recognize we need a bit more teaching and mentoring. And are you with me? So the next time I get to any of those stages, I'm a totally different person. Why? Because I've learned. And I think I'm prepared. I'm prepared to recognize that sometimes you think things are going to go your way, but they don't.
No.
You can
True.
never ever say it's gonna work until it's done. Come on, somebody. I want to be in Dubai, Dr. Hillary. I'm prepared for Dubai. I believe I'm going to be in Dubai. But Dr. Hillary, I'm a real person. If anything happens that I'm not there, I want you to know something. I was there until that time came. Are you with me? And if I'm not there now, I'll be there the next time. Because guess why? In life, I have learned don't ever, ever, ever close something until it's done. Never close anything until it's done. And some individuals have not learned that lesson. You keep your faith, but always be prepared. Always. How am I going to bounce back? How am I going to resolve this? Because life is full of dynamics that we don't have no control over. But always remember, those things that happen work out for your good. And they make you a better person if you choose to be better and not bitter. I have another question for you, Dr. Hillary. Have you been progressively getting better, or are you on the same level?
Well, of course, I mean, it's like an every minute effect. An every minute effect. Every minute of the day, not every day, every minute of the day. because I constantly work on myself. I read a lot of books. I try as much as possible to have conversations with people who I feel are higher than mine. Conversations with people. I think has been awesome for me. It's every minute.
Okay.
Am I audible?
You were in and out for me, but I'm trusting that.
Oh, okay.
Are others hearing him? Is everybody hearing him okay? Okay, you are
Oh,
in
okay.
and out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Very well.
Yes, little better. Yes.
Okay. So I was saying, I said for me, when you say getting better, it's getting better for me. It's like an every minute thing. I get better every minute because I constantly have conversations with people whose IQ I believe are higher than mine. Okay, and I read a lot of books. I do a lot of reading. I spend a lot of time reading a lot of books. Can you hear me, Your Excellency?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay. All right. So I spend a lot of time reading a lot of books, just to improve on my knowledge. I also listen to people who I feel also are more knowledgeable in terms of experience than me. I try as much as possible to have very meaningful conversations with them. I spend most of my time reading books. I love to read leadership books a lot. I love to read business books a lot also. I think for me, every minute has been an improvement. Every minute has been an improvement.
Okay. What is your vision for business in Africa cross border with regards to Dubai and Africa and a lot of smaller ideas that are coming out of Africa? Tell us the feel for individuals wanting to invest, because a lot of people are interested in how can I get my projects invested in even though we are from humble beginnings or humble stages. Because one of the things I've discovered about visionary leaders and investors around the world is that they just want a simple idea that you have and your passion, and they are willing to support you to get to the next level. What is your take on the vibe that the event is having to offer individuals out of Africa pertaining to potentially getting investors on board with their projects?
Okay, that's a very important question. One of the things that we have been doing over time for years, for more than 10 years, has been to see how we can improve, businesses in Africa. It's enough of the aid. Africa has, for decades, been dependent on aid from foreign countries, whereas Africa has a lot of potentials. Take for instance Nigeria. There are a lot of potentials in Nigeria. No matter what you hear out there, what they tell you, of course, there's no part of the world where there's no corruption. There's corruption everywhere. We have, where you have white sheep, you must have black sheep, whether you like it or not. So there's corruption everywhere. But I tell you, there's a lot of opportunity in Africa. There's a lot of opportunity in Africa. The thing is this: most investors just want to meet the right set of people. They are looking to meet the genuine set of people, because there are a lot of, unfortunately, fraudsters out there, and they're everywhere. Even in the UK where you are, still, there are a lot of fraudsters out there. But there are a lot of opportunities in Africa. You come to even Gabon, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Cape Verde, Zimbabwe. We have the Victoria Falls, one of the best tourist place in the world, yet to be utilized, if you ask me, because that's one of the best tourist places in the world, the Victoria Falls. You know, we have a lot of opportunities here, but unfortunately, we've not really had the kind of leaders in Africa that we deserve. Leaders who have the mindset of growth, leaders who have the mindset of development, leaders who have the mindset of growing their people. Because if you cannot grow your people, you cannot grow your economy. There are a lot of potentials in Africa. And I know that one of the things that we're going to take, that's going to be a take home at the summit, is some Africans who have fantastic ideas will also connect with people who will help build their ideas in Africa, who are looking to also, get involved in Africa, bring their investments, to Africans. So that's my take. I think enough of the aid for Africa. Let us begin to be the ones to do the exporting, and a little less of importation. We have a lot of things that we can export from Africa. There's oil, there's cocoa, there's precious stones. There's a whole lot, Even in technology, most Africans are the ones that are heading some of the biggest technological industries in the world. There's a lot that we can offer to the world, and I believe that once we begin to tap into those opportunities that we have, it will be best for all of us.
And on the question of those persons that are with you this year that are going to be a part of the event. And by the way, Your Excellency, I hope you're aware that I'm deliberately doing this because you're not just speaking to the class of SteelE, you're speaking globally, because this is going to be on the record for others to see. That's the purpose of this interview. One of the things as a leader that I do is I tell individuals, I believe that when I speak to one person and I encourage, advance, and support one person, I'm actually speaking to a nation. I'm actually speaking globally, because the impact of that person carrying that message is what determines how great the message I spoke would go. And thanks to social media and video and audio, we are able to speak to nations. And right now, I know you're speaking to nations because each year, Leaders Without Borders, as long as I'm on board and I'm a part of the team, even without me, I don't even want to label it as long as I am on board, as long as Leaders Without Borders exists, you are going to be ever increasing in grace and favor and success. But the question that I want to ask you is, what do you have this year that is special to you personally, that you are really excited to give to those people? Because I know that you're a man behind the scenes, confidently pushing to see that everything is done in order. So what is special to you this year about the program?
One of the most interesting aspects is the fact that we have a lot of top level VVIPs, people who are up there, wanting to be a part of what we're doing. We are also having some private investors that are telling us, look, if you have good investment, I want to hear it. If you have people that have fantastic ideas, I'll be at your summit. I want to hear it. I have money to invest. These are private investors telling us this. The idea behind the cross-border talks business, is to help. So many people are still suffering the effects of the COVID-19. A lot of businesses crumbled. People lost their jobs. People are looking on how to get back on their feet. People who have fantastic ideas, looking for finances. So one of the things that gladdens my heart is knowing that I have people who are genuinely coming to that program looking for people that they can help. That gladdens my heart. That makes me, that warms my heart up. Not just coming there for the glamour and to be associated with all the VVIPs there, because of course we're going to have a lot of VVIPs, but also coming because they want to lend some helping hand. They want to extend, their resources to people who really needs it. So that is one of the things that keeps me happy and makes me glad that we're having this event.
As a matter of fact, Your Excellency, one of the reasons why I'm really excited to be a partner and one of your associates is because you have a heart for the nations, and I think that the mark of a true leader is a heart for advancing others, even if it's beyond himself, because at the end of the day, it's not about us, but I believe it's about the generations to come. One of the reasons why I celebrate the Dubai Vision and the work that they're doing globally is because one thing you will see is that they are creating a 100-year legacy. They're not creating a legacy for this short period, but they're looking at their children's children for generations to come. And that gladdens my heart as a leader. I want to ask you this in closing. This is one of the final questions I may ask you. Why the class of SteelE? Not Dr. SteelE. I'm not asking you about me. Because you see, I know that you are not doing this just because of Dr. SteelE. I'm a person, and yes, you and I get along well, and we have a great relationship. But what is it about the vision of the class of SteelE that you have said, I want to be with you? The vision. I'm talking about the vision, not the man. The vision, not the visionary. The vision. Why this vision?
Another very important question, Your Excellency. Well, I feel strongly that for the world, to grow, for the world to unite very well, what you are doing tends towards that concept, the concept of unity. Bringing people from different walks of life, from different parts of the world, connecting them, bringing them together, and having this very unique class, also giving them the opportunity to also improve themselves. That's for me, it's enough drive for me to want to connect to the class of SteelE, because basically that's what I do. Connect with people. I don't care whether you're a Muslim, I don't care whatever religion you are. I don't judge people by their religion. I judge people by their character. In Global Peace Foundation, where I consult for, they say we are all one family under one God. We are all one family under one God. So what you're doing is also tends to my belief in unity, uniting people, and also doing what is necessary for them to grow. So that alone is enough for me to want to connect to what the class of SteelE is all about. Aside the fact that I like you a lot, I see that you are a man of integrity and you have the passion to grow people, to develop people. You have the passion for that. Aside that, what you're doing is also what I have drive for, uniting people and connecting the world globally.
Thank you so much. Olukoya, do you have a question for Dr. Hillary or a comment?
Yes, thank you
Before
very
you do
much.
that, Olukoya,
Yes.
Your Excellency, everybody in the class of SteelE, I have been watching carefully, and there's some visions that are here that I'm very dear to. Olukoya is an architect. He owns an architectural firm. And I tell him that he's not going to sit in the class of SteelE and just have an architectural firm in Jos or Plateau State. He's going to have one in Plateau State. He's going to have one in Abuja. He's going to have one in DRC. He's going to open franchises, because I believe that any vision that you have, that you do it well, all you need is good teaching and good mentoring so that you could duplicate yourself. Too many of our forefathers are dying with a vision and an idea ourselves. not recognizing that the vision's growth is a potential for expansion and franchising. So Olukoya, do you have any questions or comments for Dr. Hillary?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, I do. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, Dr. Hillary. My question is, number one, that aside from, because I trust that I'll be in Dubai, I'm working towards being in Dubai, you know, for this conference. I will not mind if you can recommend some of the top 3 books that you consider very important books for any young entrepreneur, you know, to focus on. It's very dear to my heart, you know. So those books that you know can, made you and helped you early to just find your track on time. I would like you to recommend it. And then the second question I would like to ask is, I've just been wondering, I'm wondering how we are going to congest all these beautiful topics within the short 2 days that we have. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Sir Olukoya. Well, we're having 5 panel sections. 5. In these panel sections, we're going to be dealing on different topics, you know, and each of the panel sections will have questions that will be answered, that will be asked, you know, by the moderator will ask the panelists. So we are going to have enough time to have to discuss on different topics. So I don't want you to worry yourself about that. Also have the opportunity to ask some questions from the panelists. And if you have also been following us up, you will see that we have some of the best people from all over the world that are going to be on the panel section. Okay. Now, one of the books I want you to go and read, I think it's on Amazon now, is The Vision Code. The Vision Code by Dr. Ole Konoloro. He's also a guest speaker. He's one of the guest speakers he will be speaking at the summit. I see you are reaching for your pen.
Your Excellency, Dr. Hillary, if you don't mind, I was actually going to say, let's leave that as a secret and share it after, but I think you should, if you don't mind, putting the name of the book for those in the class inside of the chat, that they would have access to that so they don't make the wrong mistake or the wrong spelling.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, actually, no, here's what to do. Carry on speaking. Tell me the name of the book and I will find it. What's the name of the book?
The Vision Code.
The Vision Code, C-O-D-E?
C-O-D-E, The Vision Code.
And the writer is?
Can you hear me? My network is Dr. Ole. Dr. Ole, the one you know.
Oh, okay. How to create compelling. How to create and execute a compelling vision.
Exactly.
The Vision Code. All right, I will make that, I will share that. That's one book. Go to the next one.
The second one is On Becoming a Leader by Warren Bennis.
So that's the link for the first book. And then the second one is what?
On becoming a leader. On becoming a leader. By
And that's by
Warren
who?
Bennis. Warren Bennis. Warren.
Oh, Warren.
Warren. Bennis. You said
Warren
it?
Bennis.
Yes.
What I'm going to do, Your Excellency, is I'm going to purchase these books for those in the class of SteelE myself, and I will make them available to my members. My wife and I have created a library, and we are going to be purchasing those books ourselves, and we will just be offering them to individuals to read. I think it's a good investment.
Okay, let me give you a heads up over there. Dr. Ole will be coming into Dubai with 40 copies of his best books.
Okay.
Yes. He will be coming into Dubai with 40 copies of his best books. So, and the vision code, I have requested based on the request from the Leaders Without Borders. We have requested that he comes in with the vision code and, you know, 2 other of his books. So if the class of SteelE, members of the class of SteelE come to Dubai, they'll be able to have access to those books.
I say no more. So Olukoya, there you have the books that were recommended. And the other book, Your Excellency, are there any more books?
There are a lot of books, a lot. Okay, you want me to recommend more?
Yeah, you just give them another one.
Okay, we have the Leadership Challenge. Leadership Challenge. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Leadership Challenge.
Yeah. We also have 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
That's my book. You can stop there now.
That's a book you need to read.
That's right.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful.
My wife has one that she reads. It's how was it? Rich Man Poor. What's it, hon? Say it, my darling.
I didn't get that.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, my dear.
Good evening, Your Excellency, SteelE.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Good. I'm doing very well too. Thank you. Blessings to you and the family.
God bless you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. I read several books, but the books that I think you're referring to, my lord, is the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series of books by Robert Kiyosaki. I think that's his name.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
Yeah, but yes, so that's the one I think you're referring to. One of the persons whose books I read.
And do you have one more, my darling, that you think would be a very powerful one to share?
Well, surely there are lots of powerful books to be honest, and who else I can say?
A lot of you would have heard of Miles Monroe.
Oh yes.
Miles Monroe. And
yeah, of course.
Miles Monroe has written some very powerful books. Matthew Ashimalawa, also here in London, has written some powerful books. Persons might have their opinions about him as a person or as a minister or however, But I want to tell you that the mind that has created some literatures that can be very, very powerful if you take the thinking that is involved in those books. Um, Dr. Henry, you shared an interesting point, and this meeting is going to close shortly. I'm going to close it, but I really appreciate the time with you. It is always well spent. Um, the most important thing you said, you know, they say of us, if you want to hide something from us, put it in a book, and we will never get it. I also want to dare to say something, if I may. If you want to hide something from us in this era, put it in a YouTube video. A lot of persons don't have the time to sit down and watch and listen because there's so much information that they get a little piece of information and think they have reached the whole story. And there's some people that my wife and I follow closely. Naz, Naz that does his show on the world, what's happening, and some real stories about real people and real cultures. As the class of SteelE members, I want you to be focused on increasing your knowledge and your facts, um, because it's going to empower you to be greater. When you go to Dubai, drop your prejudices. I believe that Dr. Hillary puts himself in a position and where he vets individual to a point that the persons that you will be meeting with are going to be persons who are doers and sayers of what they do, because the process is a well vetted process. Don't take lightly your invitation to be with us in Dubai. Don't take it lightly, because at the end of the day, the most important asset and tenet of your invitation is your integrity, your character, but your desire to help others and cause the nations of the world to be on better foundations as a result of your contribution to the development of such initiatives. Dr. Hillary, your closing words and thoughts, please.
To you, Your Excellency, so much for you are really, really impacting the world. You might not really appreciate or see the extent. I was telling someone today, they don't always know they are great. They just feel they are normal. They're just everyday citizens, but they are actually great people. And you are one of those great people, great persons that I've met in my lifetime. And I thank God for meeting you. I want to say you should, do not relent, do not be discouraged. There's always going to be hard times. There's going to be test periods, endless test periods, but that doesn't mean that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's always the light waiting for you. Just get to the end of that tunnel. There's always a light waiting. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here once more. I look forward to being at the class of SteelE anytime you want me. And I look forward to meeting all our excellencies here in Dubai. I want to meet you one-on-one, be able to, converse with you, relate with you and see how we can, connect physically. We're all tired of Zoom classes. Some people are already falling sick because they can't get to meet their loved ones. We are humans. We're not caged animals to be kept indoors and locked up. So I look forward to meeting all of you by the grace of God in May for the Leaders Without Borders Annual Business Summit. Thank you once more, Dr. Steele. God bless you.
Thank you so very much. I'm going to ask in closing His Excellency Donald Ewers to just wrap us up this evening, give us a summary and just a brief, what is in your heart? It's been a long interview. I'm really so humbled Dr. Hillary is here. And before I give my final benediction, just share your brief thought. You're my chief of protocol. You're a big man. Dr. Hillary, he's a big man. That's why I have him as my chief of protocol, because he could pretend to be my bodyguard as well. So I have a big man next to me. Go ahead, Your Excellency,
Yes.
Dr. Hillary.
Pleasant good evening, Dr. Hillary and Your Excellency, Dr. Steele. Yes, it is mind-blowing, all information and the thought process to go through all what you're saying. So it brings excitement to look forward for Dubai and to meet great people and to use all of this information to cultivate our mind and our spirit to look at bigger things, life and a bigger aspects. And I'm, a lot of times, a lot of people, sometimes we take things for granted. For example, getting opportunities. A lot of time we have to make sacrifice. And I think I said to you today, Dr. Steele, that every sacrifice God honors. And so for us to go to Dubai and to meet you in person and be in the flesh to meet you and to talk with you and to engage with you, that's a blessing on its own. So man of God, you're a younger man than myself, and I'm so inspired that the next generation behind me is making room and doors and connection. And one of the things today I went to a tailor to have some alteration on a jacket I had. And the man I looked on and I said, you're a child of God, you're a Christian. He said, yes. And he said, I don't go to church anymore. I can't deal with a church setting. I'm humanitarian. I deal with the Muslim. I deal with the Catholic. I deal with Seventh-day Adventists. I deal with human beings. So there's a lot of people who are coming out of this contained Christianity and go back out into the open world. And Jesus went out into the open world. He went to, as the publican and have a drink with them. He went at the seaside. He chose the fishermen for his disciples. And so he didn't go for the dignitaries as such of the world with the PhDs and so forth. So I like the style, and I like, it's not that we don't believe in God. It's not that we're watering down our Christianity, but the humanitarian compassion, making opportunity, making ways for other human beings, be connected, open doors for others. And, Leaders Without Borders speaks it volume that you're opening doors for the next generation. A lot of time, when I used to work I used to run an organization called the Good Samaritan, feeding the homeless in London, the street of West End. And I remember youngsters used to come for references, and they would do 3 months with me and get a reference to get a job. And I used to just take it for granted, but some people don't have that opportunity. And I think on social media, somebody sent me a video clip where a Nigerian man was walking and the back of his heel was worn down. And it said it's worn down because he doesn't have the connection. Looking for a job, going from one place to that. So the shoes he was wearing was worn out. And that was making a big story that if you don't get connected and have connection, you're forever walking, and apart from the favor of God. And so therefore, I like the concept of you opening doors, opening for people who are at the lower end of the ladder, and to go to sit amongst princes, to sit amongst the kings, to sit amongst people as society, the bigger picture. And so my summary with all of it, it is mind-blowing, it is exciting, it is something we're looking forward to be amongst these people. And getting opportunity, getting connected, and until the breath leave this body. I've learned, I work in mental health for 25 years, never redundant anybody, never shut the door on it, because we are not God. We can't play Black Jesus. And so therefore, God opened doors, and God put in your spirit that you are a destiny helper and open doors for other people. And that was what I would like to conclude, sir. that you are a destiny helper. You're not thinking about yourself. Money is not all. Fame is not all. We are here, as the great singer, the late Maynard Jackson said, if I can help somebody a long life journey, then I know that my living is not in vain. And so therefore, sir, when you leave this world, you, Dr. Hillary, will leave a legacy behind. You, Dr. SteelE, will leave a legacy behind. Myself, Donald Ewers, will leave a legacy for my children, and the next generation. So all that is happening, there's a shift in the spirit. There's a shift where God is moving away from that contained, doctrinizing church setting and going out into humanitarian compassion for people and to help people from suffering, from help people to move on to the next stage and to reach their goals and to reach their destiny. And so we are the destiny helpers. We are the helpers. We are the people that open and make it happen. No, the way I met Dr. SteelE, it was through a friend. And for the day we met, he said, we're going to be friends for life. And it was true. We ring every day. And so I said, sometimes I said, Dr. SteelE, 2 minutes, just an information, and we'll be on the phone for 2-3 hours. And not we're gossiping anything. We're talking about business. We're talking about the next vision. We're talking about what to do. We're talking to fix this, do that, do that. And so therefore, I just feel the passion. I feel the connection. And the most of all, the Spirit of God is leading. And so where the Spirit leads, we will follow. The Bible says you must try the Spirit. And Brother Hillary, we are trying your Spirit. We feel your passion. We feel your work for giving us, the class of SteelE, an opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you so very much. Dr. Hillary, you see why he's my right-hand man, and because he has my heart. I want to ask Her Excellency Victoria Okey-Daria has been like a mother. She has been the COO of the class of SteelE from our beginning. She has nurtured us. She has kept close to us. She's taught me even excellence in her mere appearance. And I want her to just greet us and share her thoughts, because she's a passionate woman. And not just a passionate woman, but she's a, you know, there are mothers who make a child a better child by silently sitting in the back and allowing the child to flourish and grow. And Her Excellency Victoria Okey-Daria, at the permission of her wonderful husband, has sat with us, showed her face in every single class. And I want to allow her to just share her brief thought with us this evening in the class of SteelE. Go ahead, Your Excellency Victoria.
Thank you, sir, my Lord Bishop and our mentor. Tonight has really been so great. Thank you so much, Dr. Hillary, for all that you have said tonight concerning the Dubai trip and all the benefits of leadership which we're going to get. I jotted almost everything down. It's written down, but I still want to go back to it. Well, I want to say tonight that your Lordship, our Bishop, Dr. Michael SteelE, thank you so much for your heart of passion. Your heart of passion for the class of SteelE is so much. And also my beloved First Lady, Jenny SteelE, who is always behind the SteelE. Putting this program together is not an easy one, but you want to see us really stepping up, and you want to see us to really be relevant. Honestly, to me, it's just doing me as if I'm even already in Dubai. I'm telling you the truth from my heart. Oh my God, I said, this money, Lord, make a way. But I'm not losing hope. Anything can happen. God can make a way. So once again, sir, Dr. Hillary, and our great mentor, we appreciate your leadership and we celebrate you. And I want to tell you that we believe in what you are doing And that is why many of us are still there. Oh, yes, we believe in it. And we are encouraged. We are encouraged. We most of the time, you make us see ourselves as if we've not even started. We have to do something. We have to move up. We can do it. That encouragement, that motivation, that knowledge, that information, it's a big virtue that we hold on to and we will not let it go. And I want to let you know, sir, both Dr. Hillary and our great mentor, Dr. SteelE, we will not fail you. And by the time you look back and see us, the class of SteelE, I am confident that you'll be so happy that, wow, these people, you are pulling us. You keep on pulling us. No matter how weak we are, you are pulling us. And you are telling us we can make it. And we believe we can make it. So once again, sir, tonight has been so wonderful. We appreciate you. And we say God will surely reward you. It has been a great night. Your Excellency, Dr. US, you know, I always want to hear your voice. Thank you so much for your impacts and all what you have said. I just believe that, yes, God has called us to be to the humanitarian call. We must have that compassion. Church is not like before. We must make an impact and we have to be relevant. I believe in what you are saying and I key to it. And I know that the Lord will give us the grace. Once again, thank you very much, sir, for giving us the opportunity to talk. We love you, sir. Dr. Hillary, we celebrate you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency Victoria Okedaya. I'm going to close, and the way I'm going to close is like this. Dr. Hillary, you're still with us, Your Excellency, Dr. Hillary? I'm closing, but this is how I choose to close this broadcast. Dr. Hillary, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here, Your Excellency.
I want to publicly speak to you on this broadcast. This is the final thing that I will say. And I want you to take this to heart. I want you to take this to heart, Dr. Hillary. Dr. Hillary, the world needs people like you. The world is a better place because of people like you, Dr. Hillary. You're going to have persons that are going to judge your intention. You're going to have persons that are going to judge your motives. But I want to tell you the world is a better place because of scrutinizing people like you. I want to say that I celebrate Leaders Without Borders because we need individuals, even though you say without borders does not mean without boundaries, without parameters. And I want to endorse and support the boundaries and the parameters that you have for those that you allow to come close. Because at the end of the day, if you're growing a farm and the farm is supposed to be growing wheat, you want to make sure that as a good farmer that you can remove the tares so they don't be planted amongst the wheat. Even though you can't remove all of them, you still want to be as good as a steward as can be to remove as much as possible. Dr. Hillary, I want to endorse what you're doing publicly. I want to speak to, again, my international community. I have many persons who follow me in some very powerful circles, and I want them to unreservedly support Dr. Hillary Emoh, unreservedly. I want you to ignore anything about his passport or whatever you might see and think, and I want you to give him your support. I want to speak to those leaders that are in Dubai and around the world in our international communities. We need individuals like Dr. Hillary and his vision. And we need individuals and organizations that he brings on board because he has an understanding of the dynamics that would cause organizations to be successful. Dr. Hillary, as a man of God, as a bishop, I want to decree God's blessings on you. I want to decree that those that might look at you and think you're not big enough for this, I want to say that in this dispensation, there are those that are going to be saying, oh, Dr. Hillary, please, because they're going to be thinking, this is too small for you, because there is no boundaries. There are no more boundaries. The boundaries have been removed. The doors are open. The nations are open to you and your vision and those that you put on the table. I apologize that this is going to increase your time away from my godson. I sincerely apologize because I know that your time is even going to be less, but as a godfather, I promise that I will do my best to look out for my godson in the time that daddy is away. But I want to extend my love to you and celebrate your excellency. And from the class of SteelE, we celebrate you and I salute you, sir. God bless you in all you do. Come on, class of SteelE, let's celebrate Leaders Without Borders and Dr. Hillary Emoh for what he do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'm going to see you in Dubai for sure. I see persons that are on here that I will not call their names from other places in Barbados. I see, but I'm not going to say anything without their permission. So what I will do is I'll just share my screen quietly and say good night and God bless. But this is what I will leave you with. Leaders Without Borders, and this is their website, Leaders Without Borders Development Center, and you have the person of His Excellency Dr. Hillary Emoh, who is with us here today. And please make sure you check them out. Even if you're not able to be at this event with us, then I want you to make sure that you follow up Leaders Without Borders Development Center. Have a look at their website and hear what they share with you. Let me see. So check out the Leaders Without Borders. You can click to register. I think registrations are closing. And I wish you guys good night and God bless. I'm Dr. Michael SteelE, and this is the class of SteelE. Thank you so very much for being with us. Good night, everybody.